Welcome back, guys, to another review. Today I'm reviewing The Evil Within 2. Now, let's get right into it. Made by the same people who made The Evil Within 1. Let's get right into it. So, let's talk about the major change from this game from Evil Within 1 to Evil Within 2. This game is now feature a semi-open world. And when I first heard about it, I wasn't too pleased. I thought every game in the freaking universe is going to somewhat of an open world, and I don't like it. I just don't. Sometimes I want that game to be a straight, this is where you go. And the Evil Within's path is very much how you play, to in a sense, that you can attack it from many different angles, and the open world really isn't that bad. It still tells you very narratively where to go, and how you get there is up to you. And even towards the end of the game, you really aren't that much open world. It's go down here. You can't go that much. At least for what I seemed, it seemed like very narrative. It doesn't even seem, even though the world is that big, it changes so much that the open world doesn't ever feel the same, which is very nice. Because the open world itself really isn't that big. You can probably get from one end to the other map in nearly about 7 minutes. 5 minutes probably if you just straight run it, honestly. But yes. And now they introduce saved. So this is where it kind of gets a little bit. So crafting, I don't actually remember. I'm pretty sure crafting's in. Actually, yes, you could craft weapon bolts. I remember that. But like crossbow bolts. Now this time you have multiple weapons. You get them from just finding them on the map. You have side missions to get better versions of that. And it's very, very well done to an extent. It does have the same Evil Within syndrome in the first game, where if you overly put something in, that gun is overly good. And they do a very nice job also of, if this game, since it is a survival horror, you are not going to be really overloaded on ammo until you have a boss fight. Otherwise, you are going to have to save resources and fight strategically to make sure, just like the hit of January Resident Evil 7. But I absolutely loved this game still. It was a joy to play. The open world is very well done. Now, I'm going to talk about one of the main things that is god-awful about this game. It's voice acting. And it's not even just when I remember it, the cutscenes aren't absolutely terrible. They aren't good. They're closer to very mediocre. But the in-voice is absolutely god-awful. So fucking terrible. Like, oh my god. It's laughably bad. It's god awful. This is my only complaint with this game. The only complaint I have with this game, and I wanted to get that out. The gameplay is very much of the same of the Evil Within 1. It's just slightly more tight and clean and polished, which is what you kind of hope for a sequel. The combat never really was a massive thing. Here's another kind of like gripe with the game, is that a stealth kill should be a stealth kill. In this game, if you don't a stealth kill does not mean insta-kill, which I don't like. Just in every other game, it is an insta-kill. Not in this game. For some reason, it's not. The story overall is good, though. I don't want to get into massive spoilers, but Sebastian has a daughter. Daughter's in the world that he has to go into. And then you encounter a whole bunch of other people along the way that try to stop you. They have great villains. The first villain really is cool. Although I will say his name kind of takes... I think about his name and what the dude is. You just laugh your ass off at this. But the other enemies are very well done, and they are frightful, and you do get somewhat scared. And what I do like about this game is this isn't jump scare bullshit horror. It's just psychological. Like, that's fucked up. Whoever thought of this, you're fucked up. And we need more of that in the horror genre, to where there's a correct way to do jump scares, and the correct way is with Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 is by far the best horror game, and it's still the best horror game. I don't know if I did a review for that. I think I gave that game, I want to say I gave it a 10 out of 10, and I still, after replaying it with the DLC, it will stand the test of time at 10 out of 10. But The Evil Within 2 does what it does well, and then it adds on with the open world that is very well done. It's got great enemies. It just is a better game than its predecessor and what you hope for in a sequel. Granted, it didn't sell well, and I don't think it's going to... I think it will probably get one more game. I'm hoping it gets a season pass, but I don't think it will. Or some form of DLC. But overall, this game is very solid, and I highly recommend a pickup if you can afford it. And with the time of this recording, but the time this should be uploaded, it should be somewhere in January, so you shouldn't have a reason. There isn't that much till Far Cry. The Far Cry actually got delayed, shit. There isn't that much till Monster Hunter World and Dragon Ball FighterZ. And yeah, after that, I'm kind of dead for a little bit. Until Sea of Thieves and whatever Sony might have. But yeah, I highly encourage this. It's a very good pickup. If you can find it in your store for a used price of like $50, I highly recommend it. $60 is a bit steep, but it does run you about 16 to 18 hours, which isn't terrible. You just kind of hope for a little more. That's me just playing the campaign only, not getting all the collectibles. So you could be looking at maybe around 30 hours if you were to get every collectible, all that. You know, maximum upgrade your character, beat it on the New Game Plus, whatever that may be. Yeah. But with that being said, so let's go over the pros and cons real quick. It's nice and clean, gameplay continues. Its open world is actually very good. Its enemies are very well done. And the characters are good. And I do want to actually point out that. The characters are good, except the voice acting, which goes into the con of the voice acting's terrible. Just overall bad voice acting. It seems like a legit joke. And my gripe of that stealth kill isn't a one-hit kill. It's an annoyance that just is bleh. And they also nailed survival horror definitely down where you don't have that much ammo. You have to be conservative and be smart with it. Except for going into boss battles, which it sucks. But if you want to have a boss battle, you got to be loaded. So you got to be smart about them. But yes, very enjoyable game. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad this game got a sequel, and I'm hoping that it gets one more. But with that being said, guys, I do give The Evil Within 2 an 8 out of 10. Well, I'll thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys next time for the next review or Let's Play. Peace out, guys.